Speed, John Glenn. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway. You're loud and clear.
Almost 60 years after John Glenn became the first U.S. astronaut launched into orbit, the NASA space program achieved another important milestone.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Spot and Doug.
The successful launch of the Demo 2 mission was not only a historical achievement for NASA and the Elon Musk-led SpaceX.
If we are able to increase the rate of innovation, then life can become multiplanetary. This is the goal we should strive for.
But it was a significant milestone for the future of commercial space travel. Investors Business Daily senior reporter Jillian Rich explains why the launch was so important for the industry.
Demo 2 is really great for space investors because it proved that the commercial business model can work for space.
NASA doesn't want to be the owner and operator of the hardware. We also don't want to be the only customer. We want SpaceX and others to go get customers that are not us.
Though SpaceX is the first commercial company to successfully send NASA astronauts into orbit, many familiar names are working to make space travel more efficient and accessible for consumers. Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic, Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin are just a few of the names in the space tourism market.
So legacy companies still have a big role to play. Boeing is also building a space taxi to the International Space Station. Aerojet Rocketdyne is going to help build the engines for Boeing's Space Launch System rocket, which NASA plans to use to help build the Lunar Gateway, go to the moon, and onto Mars. And Lockheed is building the Orion capsule for the SLS system.
Not only does the success of the SpaceX-NASA collaboration prove space travel as a business model can work, but Procure AM CEO Andrew Chanin says it could lead to more innovation in products we already use.
Things like 5G, machine learning and big data, connected devices and Internet of Things, cloud computing, and even blockchain are more and more becoming reliant on space. So if you look for commonalities among all these industries, but right now and in the immediate future, it seems like broadband internet and the transmission of data, even for one person on Earth to another person on Earth, is kind of the big driver financially as far as how the space economy has been growing.
He adds that technological advances like reusable rockets and lighter, more compact satellites could also reshape the industry.
So if it's cheaper to send things into space because we're reusing parts, and the things that we're sending into space are now cheaper to launch because they don't weigh as much and they're not as bulky, each of these are lowering the barriers of entry for existing players and would-be players in the future. So I think these different things are transforming space.
For investors, the success of SpaceX could open up a new frontier in the growing space economy. Analysts have predicted that economic activity in space will become a multi-trillion-dollar market in the coming decades.
When you think about what it actually takes to sustain life in outer space, on the moon, on Mars, Elon Musk is hoping to do in the future with SpaceX. There's so many things that need to be figured out. And I think manufacturing, I think healthcare, I think kind of the food and agriculture areas are ones that could be not only growth areas for outer space, but actually could also be growth areas where the roots are in outer space and actually brought back home.
In addition to investing in individual companies, investors can look at themed-based holdings like the Procure Space ETF, which includes 30 publicly traded companies specializing in different areas, from rocket manufacturing to satellite technologies.
By creating UFO, investors can get exposure to space at a relatively low cost and also have global diversification across companies. So I think there's probably other ways that people might be able to get exposure, but being able to get a diversified basket, I think, is a very interesting way to play the space industry.